So what's up, people? Welcome to the what's been going on of this week from the 10th to the 16th of August, and this was a week that I wouldn't even have dreamt about. Complete surprise. As you can see at the moment, I'm in a freaking boat. I'm in a cabin for 4 people where I'll spend the night. This was not planned at all. So I got very lucky this week, I have to say. This was an amazing week. This was great. It was way better than I could have expected. So my tuition costs for university got increased quite a bit, and I have I had planned doing like a little trip in summer, but then I saw the price of the inscription fees and I was like, okay, it's not really gonna be possible. But I have family here I have a family member here in Sweden, and he just randomly called and he told me, hey, what are you doing in August? I was like, I have nothing planned. I cannot really travel much because I have economic restraints. And then he's like, oh, you should come to Sweden to visit me. I was like, dude, I just told you I have economic restraints. He said, don't worry, I'll get you the tickets. Boom! I couldn't even, rush of dopamine. I couldn't believe it. I got way too excited, and that's exactly what happened. I ended up getting tickets to come to Stockholm to come on Thursday. And that's what happened. That's well, the week started off very chill. Like, it was another of this week in the south of France, super hot. It's that hot that I'm sleeping on the floor. I've been sleeping on the floor since the beginning of August. So since I came after I finished my internship, and I really haven't been enjoying it as much because, as well, all of my friends are not in my city because I live in a university city. So they go back to their families, but my families are in another continent. So, it's a bit more difficult getting there. So none of my friends are in my city. It's super hot. I'm alone, it's not that good. Even though it's a beautiful place and stuff, but for the temperature and not a lot of friends at the moment, it's been a bit boring. And then my family member really surprised me. Enormously, I would say. Huge. Like, it was a great surprise. But okay, well, it was super hot in South France. My apartment was so hot. My bed smelled like fried chicken, and I haven't even been sleeping on it. So what I did, I was procrastinating cleaning that bed for a while. So Monday was a chill day, I didn't do much. Tuesday as well. But then Wednesday, which is the day before coming to Stockholm, all day long I just cleaned that freaking I cleaned that bed for hours. Like, I put in some headphones, cleaned that, and then got it all done. And then Thursday was the day I got here to Stockholm. But coming to Stockholm as well was interesting. I had to take 2 planes. So one from the south of France to Amsterdam, and then the second one was to Amsterdam to Stockholm. And the layover between them was around 2 hours. So I was like, okay, I'm great. And I remember I flew once in the airport of Amsterdam, and I remember they had some McDonald's hamburgers. So I want a hamburger. I want to have a McDonald's. I just wanted McDonald's. If I'm completely honest, I'm a bit of a pig. And then I went there. There's no more McDonald's. There's just Burger King. And the line was exponential, but I said it's an airport. People have to catch flights. I literally have to catch a flight in like an hour and a half. I hope, I didn't even came into my head that they'll take so long to make a burger. They took, I ordered a burger. My flight left at 8 p.m. So I had to be in the gate. Well, it left a bit later, but I had to be in the gate at 8 p.m. I got there 6 something, and then I ordered a burger. I remember it was $6.50 that it said. So I had supposedly a good margin to eat this burger. They took 45 minutes to make my burger. I thought they stole my money. I had to go and catch a flight, and I'll not even eat the burger because of how much they took. It was insane how I have never waited so much at a fast food restaurant in my life. Last minute, like I was about to get out, and as well, I told them about it, like, hey, you know, when it was more than half an hour waiting for in a fast food chain restaurant, you would, hey, what's going on? And they said, oh no, don't worry, it's a lot of orders. I'm like, dude, I have to catch a flight. I don't know, I've ordered more than half an hour ago. And each like 5 minutes after that, I would just go and ask. And then they gave it to me. Then I got a burger, I ate it in like 5 minutes, which was not enjoyable at all. And then I went to catch a flight, the last flight, before I came to magnificent Stockholm again. And then the flight was not that good. The first flight from the south of France to Amsterdam was very chill. And then the second flight, I had 3 grown men, punching the freaking seats, so my seats and the whole people of our line in front of us. I don't want to say any. They were. It was difficult because that had never happened to me in my life, and there are men that are older than me punching the seats in front. Not exactly the best scenario, but as well, I think they had a bit of a disability, so I don't want to speak too badly of that. But you know, I had the 3 people of our line. We had 3 dudes punching the seat in front of us for almost 3 hours. So not the best. Couldn't take a nap in that flight. But then I finally got to Stockholm. Was so happy about it, and we spent so I got there super late on Thursday, and then all Friday we spent it in Stockholm, which was nice. I forgot how beautiful Stockholm is. Stockholm is such a beautiful city, and because I lived here. Well, I spent quite a bit of time in Sweden, but I did an exchange semester for 6 months. And then all of the summers before, since my family member moved to Sweden in 2023, I've come quite a bit, and I didn't think I would come. I definitely didn't think I would come this year, but you know, that's life. It gives us some cute surprises. And then my family member has a house in the countryside, in the middle of nowhere, a 4-hour drive from Stockholm. The nearest grocery store is a 20-minute drive. That's how far away it is, this place. And I helped my family member repair this house because it was in a very bad condition. So we spent the whole summer just painting and cleaning stuff and moving stuff in and taking stuff out and buying new stuff for the house. And we spent I spent there the summer of 2023, almost all of the summer of 2023 there, and going there again was very special. It was something I don't know, it was very, in a way, emotional. It was so many memories are coming here. I did so much stuff here, and now I'm back. I didn't think I would be back in a long time, and now I'm here again. It was a beautiful place, and it was so lonely because there's nobody. So when you see the sunset, it's there's just I don't even know, probably hectares of land with nobody, and then this very beautiful small house in the middle of there, which is the house of my family member. And then so he hasn't been there in a while as well, so I help him clean and stuff. And then the next day we were clean the windows of the house. We ran out of water. This is a problem I don't think I've ever encountered in my life, running out of water. But since it's in the middle of nowhere, there's only a little well sitting, it's a bit in the back part of the house, well, a bit like it's behind the house quite a bit. So we had to go to the well. We couldn't figure out like why there was no water. Turns out we ran out of water. Since this summer is a very dry summer in Sweden, so there's not a lot of water, and we used all the water of the well, which we didn't even think it would be possible. And then this is a big emergency because I don't know if you realize how important water is for you, but you cannot wash dishes, you cannot use the bathroom, you cannot clean your teeth, you cannot do a lot of things if you don't have water. So we got into panic mode, but thankfully we went, like in this trip to the country house, my family member brought a buddy, and turns out his hometown is Gothenburg, which is not exactly close to the country house, but it's like a 2-hour drive, which is way better than a 4-hour drive to Stockholm. So then we ended up crashing at his parents' house, like the house he grew up in, and then we stayed there for the night, the whole Sunday. Then we went from the country house to the house of the buddy of my family member. Then next week, well, now it's Tuesday, but I've spent the last 5 nights in a row, I'll be sleeping in a different place. First on Saturday I was in the country house in the middle of nowhere. Then Sunday I slept in the buddy's, the house he grew up in close to Gothenburg. Then Monday we came back to Stockholm. Then Tuesday I'm sleeping in the boat, which is where I'm filming this video. And then tomorrow I'll be in Finland. I don't think I've ever slept in a different place for 5 nights in a row in my whole life. This is a week that if you would have asked me if you would have told me in the beginning of the week that my week will go like this during this week, I wouldn't have believed you at all. But I guess life gives you surprises, and yeah, that was my week. This was probably the most surprising week of the whole year, 1000%. And this was my week, and thank you a lot for watching this What's Been Going On, and see you next week with the next What's Been Going On, this time, if everything goes well, in Finland. Bye, see you.